Okay, hi. So today we're going to talk about the area of composite figures. A composite figure is just a figure that can be divided into two or more shapes. So for example, look at number 1. We want to find the area of this figure. So it's kind of an odd shaped figure, so we have to draw lines and figure out what shapes can we make out of this figure. So I'm going to look at this figure. I know this is 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches. All right, so this is a square down here, so I'm going to go ahead and connect this line here to make a square. So this bottom shape is a square, so I need to find the area of this square. And then on the top part, it looks like a circle, but it's half a circle. So this is a half a circle. So to find the total area of this composite shape, I'm going to have to find the area of a square, and I'm going to add the area of square. I'm going to add the area of a circle. But I don't want the whole circle, I want half a circle. So I'm going to divide that by 2 because I only want half of it. So I'm going to find the area of a circle, and I'm going to find the area of a square, and I'm going to add that to the area of a circle, half the area of a circle. So the area of this square, I look at the square, the area of a square is length times width. So the length is 4, the width is 4 inches. So I'm going to write 4 inches times 4 inches. So the area of a square is going to be 4 inches times 4 inches, which is 16 inches squared. That's the area of the square. That's that part. I'm going to add the area of half of the circle. So how do I find the area of a circle? So remember the formula for area of a circle is pi radius squared. So pi times radius squared. So now I have to find out what my radius is. So my radius is half of the diameter, where the whole diameter is the same as down here. So the bottom of the square is 4 inches, so the top is 4 inches. So what would be half of this? That's my radius. So that would be 2 inches. So pi, and it's not the whole circle, so I need to divide that by 2. So I'm going to write pi times my radius, which is 2 inches. 2 inches squared divided by 2. So I have 16 inches squared plus 3.14, which is pi. Pi is 3.14 times 2 times 2, because 2 squared is 2 inches times 2 inches divided by 2. So go ahead and plug this into your calculator. 3.14 times 2 divided by 2, 6.28. So I'm going to have 16 inches squared plus 6.28 inches squared. So add that, add the area of the square plus the area of the half circle. So you should get 22.28 inches squared. 22.28 inches squared is the area of this crazy looking figure. 22.28 inches squared. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay, so make sure that you are writing this down with me and taking notes. You can pause whenever you need to see if you can get the answers before I do. So I look at this figure. This is a composite figure because it's not a normal figure that we've learned. It's a shape that can be made from 2 or more shapes. So I look at this and I say, here's another curve, so it could be a circle. So let's draw the line here. So this is half a circle. So this is half a circle. And then this is not a square because they're not the same. This is 18, this is 12, so this is a rectangle. So I'm going to find the area of this figure, I'm going to have to add the area of a rectangle plus the area of half a circle. So the area of a rectangle, so I'm going to have to add the area of a rectangle is length times width plus the area of a circle is pi r squared, but I don't want the whole circle, I want half of it, so I'm going to divide by 2. Okay, so let's find the area of the rectangle. So my area of rectangle is 12 times 18. So 12 centimeters times 18 centimeters. So let's go ahead and find that. What's 12 centimeters times 18 centimeters? That's 216 centimeters squared. Now I'm going to add the half of the area of a circle. So the area of the circle is pi r squared, so I need my radius. Pi is 3.14. That's pi, 3.14, times my radius squared. So what is my radius? So let's look at the picture. Well, this is my diameter. That's the whole length, and so that's the same as this length here. So that would be 12. So half is the radius. So then half would be 6. Right, half of 12. The whole thing is, if this whole thing is 12, half of it would be 6. So my radius is 6. So I'm going to multiply 3.14 times 6 centimeters squared. Then I'm going to divide it by 2 because I don't want the whole circle. I only want half of it. So go ahead and multiply that out. 3.14 times 6 squared, or sorry, 6 times 6, divided by 2. You should have gotten 56.52. So 56.52 centimeters squared. So now add that together. So now I'm going to combine these two because I need the area of this rectangle plus the area of this half circle gives me the whole total area. So the rectangle is 216 centimeters squared plus the area of this half a circle is 56.52. Add those together, what do you get? Okay, good. You should have gotten 272.52. 272.52 centimeters to the second power. That's the area. So again, all we did was we found the area of this rectangle, found the area of half of this circle, or of this circle divided by 2, and then I added them together. Okay, we're going to do the next part. Okay, we got 3 more to do real quick. Okay, so now this one, if you look at this shape, it's an odd looking shape also, but you can see right here, there's a triangle on top. So then what shape? This is 12, 12, so then that means this is 12. This is a square. So we're going to find the area of a square plus, and this other shape is the area of a triangle. So the area of a square is length times width, or base times height. So it's going to be 12 times 12. So 12 meters times 12 meters. And the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Well, my base is this piece here, which is 12, and my height is 5. Remember, it has to be the two that make a right angle. Okay, so 12 times 5. So 1/2 12 meters times 5 meters. So I'm going to figure this one out. 12 times 12 is 144 meters squared plus, you can also just do all this out if you want to on your calculator. So now figure out this, 1/2 of 12 times 5. So 12 times 5 and then divided by 2. Or multiply by 0.5, either one. So that should be 30. 12 times 5 is 60. Half of 60 is 30. So 30 meters squared. Then I'm going to add those together. So 144 plus 30, that should give me 144 plus 30. That should give me 174 meters squared. 174 meters squared is my area of the total figure, of the figure. So all we're doing is we're breaking up the shape into 2 pieces, the square and a triangle, and then finding the area of each one and then adding them together. So we got 2 more to do real quick. Let's look at this one. If you didn't get all that work, let me show you. Okay, so let's look at this next one. So here's the same thing. I have a rectangle. So this is a rectangle. and a triangle. So I'm going to do the area of a rectangle plus the area of a triangle. I'm going to add them together. So the area of rectangle is base times height. And the area of a triangle is base times height. Same thing, remember? We did this before we left for spring break, but a triangle is half of a rectangle. That's why you divide by 2. So the area of a rectangle is base times height. The area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So here's my base and height. They always have to have a perpendicular. So they have to be perpendicular, so there's a right angle. So 10 times 8 meters times 8 meters. And then my base and height of my triangle is here and this one here, because these two meet at a right angle. So my height is 6. And my base is this here, but what is that? How big is this? What is the length of this base? Well, look at my rectangle. This is 10, and this is 8. So this side has to be 10, and this side has to be 8 meters. So my base is 8 meters. So go ahead and figure out that. That's 10 times 8. 10 times 8 is 80 meters squared. Meters times meters is meters squared, plus 8 times 6 is 48. And then divide that by 2. What you get? Good, it's 24. So 24 meters squared, this is meters. So 8 times 6 is 48. Meters times meters is meters squared. Divided by 2 is 24 meters squared. Now add them together, because you have to add the area of a rectangle plus the area of a triangle. So 80 plus 24. 0 and 4 is 4. 8, 9, 10, 104. 104 meters squared is the area of this figure. Okay, last one. Sometimes you don't add. Sometimes you're going to subtract. You're going to take away. So look at this figure here. I have a rectangle right here, right? And it looks like somebody took a bite out of it right here. They took this piece out. So this is a rectangle, right? 20. This is, so this has 2 little slashes here. So this one has 2. So that's 20. So this is 20 centimeters. This has 1 tick mark. So that's 10. So that means that this is 10 centimeters. Okay, so this, if I make the little dotted line right here, I make this rectangle. So this is 10. The whole thing down here is 20. This piece has to be 20. So this means that this is 10. And this is 10 also. So do you see a circle here? I'm going to get a different color pen. So this was a circle that was taken out. But this, and it tells you right here, note the cutout is a quarter circle. So it's just a fourth of a circle. So I'm going to take that away. So I'm going to say it's a rectangle minus, so the area of a rectangle minus the area of a circle. But it's not the whole circle. I didn't take the whole circle away. I only took this piece, which right here it says is a quarter of a circle. So to find a quarter of something, you multiply by a fourth, or you can divide by 4. That's the same thing. Multiplying by a fourth or dividing by 4. I'm just going to divide by 4. All right, so I need to find the area of this rectangle. So to find the area of a rectangle, you do length times width. So I'm going to do length times width. So my length is 20 and my width is 20. So 20 times 20. This is actually a square, sorry. It's the same formula. This should be a square. Okay, so 20 times 20 is 400. Centimeters times centimeters is centimeters square. So this is 400 centimeters square plus, now I need the area of the circle. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. This is going to be a minus. So I should have 20 centimeters times 20 centimeters. That's 400 centimeters squared minus the area of a circle. The area of a circle is pi r squared divided by 4. So I'm going to have 400 centimeters squared minus pi, we're going to use 3.14 times my radius. So we said my radius is 10. So 10 squared divided by 4. So go ahead and do this on your calculator. 3.14 times 10. Well, it gives you 31.4, and divided by 4. That should give you 7.85. So 400 centimeters squared minus 7.85 centimeters squared. This 10 is centimeters. So centimeters times centimeters is centimeters squared. So now you subtract 400 minus 7.85, and you get 392.15 centimeters squared. So again, let's go over this one real quick. So this one was a square. So the formula for area of a square is base times height, 20 times 20. So that gives me 400. That's the square. And then I do the area of the circle divided by 4, because that gives me a fourth of the circle. So this is the circle. So I'm going to do 400 minus or subtract 7.85 from 400, and I get 392.15 centimeters squared. That is the area of the figure. And that's it. So you guys can finish taking notes on this. Use your notes to take your quiz. Log on to Canvas and take that quiz. Thank you. Bye-bye.